From this distant vantage point,
Ipadbeatmaking
might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home.
What up, everybody? It's Ipadbeatmaking.com here today on Friday, March 19th, 2021, giving you some news you can use. Now, we are officially at 2,000 subscribers, and we want to thank you for trusting us with your subscribe button and your notification bell so that you never miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, sales, updates, beats, and more. And to celebrate, we're giving away 2 free copies of the really cool app, Shaper Synthesizer. Now, if you've never heard of this app, it's a powerful synthesizer tailor-made for the mobile platform. Shaper is a subtractive synthesizer specifically designed for the mobile platform. It's fully featured and capable of creating a wide range of amazing sounding patches. The user interface is intuitively laid out to ensure a smooth, creative experience. Some of the highlights are 2 alias-free waveform oscillators and an additional noise oscillator, 2 EMVs and 2 LFOs, intuitive drag and drop modulation assignment, fully configurable LFO graph, classic analog filter, 3-slot effect rack, 7 built-in effects, bit crusher, coarse delay, distortion filter, phaser, and a reverb, MIDI and MIDI learn support, as well as AUV3 support. Now, this app is really nice and it has some really cool presets, and we can't wait to make more music with it, and we want to thank the developer for supporting this initiative. And if you want a chance to win, you gotta be subscribed, hit the like button, and leave a comment to be automatically entered into the giveaway. Now, the winner will be announced on next week's episode of the news, so be sure to tune in. And we couldn't just have the good news without some bad news, and sadly, the Apple iPad event that was rumored to happen on Tuesday, March 23rd, is now rumored to happen sometime in April, but there's now the possibility that the newest iPad Pro will have Thunderbolt, which would be crazy and would definitely make the wait more than worth it. We're thinking this paves the way for Final Cut and Logic Pro to arrive on the iPad. It would make sense for Apple to announce those Pro software titles while simultaneously releasing an iPad with a Thunderbolt port, which is of course considered a Pro's port. An announcement like this would also make a product like the iPad Air make a lot more sense, since it feels a little out of place, like it directly competes with the 11-inch iPad Pro. A Thunderbolt port would definitely put enough distance between those two devices, but what do you think? Will you be getting a Thunderbolt iPad if the rumors are in fact true? And what does this mean for iPad and iOS as a whole? Maybe the UAD stuff would get ported over to iOS. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but we want to know your thoughts, so be sure to let us know down in the comments section. And Songen has been issued a really cool update that adds synchronicity between its drums and the drum kits of Nano Studio 2, as well as Cubases. And what's also really cool is there's an option to use this with the DAW stock drum kits, or most of the Ipadbeatmaking.com drum kits, allowing for very easy drum reassignments such as kick, hi-hats, and snare that allow a super easy way to demo and change drums without messing around reassigning things in the piano roll. So be sure to check out the app in use in our latest iPad beatmaking episode here so that you can better understand exactly how this workflow works. And speaking of piano rolls, the piano roll app Atom 2 has gone nuclear and is being classified as a game-changing piano roll app with all of the fixings. Now, we've covered the details extensively on last week's episode here, but so far, it seems to live up to the hype for its users. Have you checked it out? Let us know what you think in the comments section down below. And also, we'd like to know, how are you applying it? What DAW are you in? And how is your workflow going? And we've got to highlight this app because we just love when DAWs implement MPE support. It's just one of these things where it doesn't seem like it matters until it does. And so Multitrack Studio has implemented it on its latest update, and that is really cool. And in other news that isn't directly iOS app related, we got the first full-length film for Instagram in the form of Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League, courtesy of HBO Max. Now, why they call it HBO Max when they don't maximize the real estate of the screen, we'll never know. But this movie was like 4 hours, and that 4 hours would have been much better spent making music. But anyways, what are you watching right now? What's good? Let us know. But this show is not about TV shows, so let's move on to the updates. Now, first off, we've got Songen, which I mentioned earlier. It's able to integrate Songen seamlessly with iOS DAW such as Nano Studio and Cubasis 3. This makes the drum notes to play correctly out of the box when Songen generated MIDI is imported. You can also automatically match genre tempos when mixing multiple genres with significantly different tempo ranges. For example, boom bap tempo around 75 BPM is doubled when mixing with trap, which is around 135 BPM. This feature can be toggled on or off under the tempo options on Premium. Genre names are now encoded in the exported file name when no custom name to the song is given. And they've also fixed a compatibility issue related to importing separated drums format in Cubasis 3, as well as minor fixes to drum export mapping. And if you have not checked out Songen, be sure to check that app out. It is really cool. And Audio Evolution Mobile has issued a very clutch update. This is version 4.1.0, and we did a video on it here. But here's a quick summary. The key could not be selected properly in Vocal Tune Pro on iPhones. That's been solved. They added presets for Vocal Tune Pro, new tempo settings dialog, added an option recording only to the metronome settings, and this is a really big deal because it used to always have the metronome either on or off. Now you're able to decide if you just want it on during a recording, and that is a really clutch option. They've also added keyboard shortcuts such as rewind, forward, mute, solo, delete the track. You can increase and decrease the grid size with the keyboard, copy, cut, paste, split, open the piano roll, and more. So if you are an Audio Evolution mobile user, this is an incredible update. So salute to that developer for hearing our concerns and our wishes with this app and keeping the progress going on it. Now, Chameleon AUV3 Sampler plugin has an experimental fix for Bluetooth MIDI issue, as well as minor bug fixes. Piano Motifs has been updated with a library audition mode for quick listening of saved motifs, added voice leading arpeggios and other new preset accompaniments, new chord progressions, ability to reset settings to default, UI improvements for better setting screen utilization on certain devices, and more. Tape Pro has a low pass and high pass filter parameters added to the noise module, as well as various bug fixes and optimizations. Transcribe Plus slow down music. Loop duration can now be as short as 0.1 seconds. Fixed an issue with exporting where it was possible to accidentally delete the file extension in the naming process. Tube AU has been updated. They found a strange bug that, quote, click audio, and this is because of our new feature audio pitch shift, so they temporarily removed that feature from the app and they'll re-add it on the next update, and they're sorry for any inconvenience. Decent Sampler's been updated and it's now possible to open zip files containing DS presets. This will make it easier for people who are downloading instruments from the piano book. Bismarck BS16i has fixed crashes in the instruments list, introduced musical typing for M1 Mac and iPad with keyboards. That is really cool. Load .kar files the same as .mid files, add search feature to the instruments list, add stay open option to the instruments list, resolve the compatibility issue with some core MIDI interfaces, and much more. So if you are a Bismarck BS16i user, be sure to check that out. And LK for Ableton Live, the most updated app on iOS, I swear, has revised all pop-up dialogues, new MIDI controller parameter assign dialog, new combo box style across all of the application, moved MIDI controller bank and assign functions to status bar, remove settings panel from MIDI controller module, improved selected slot indication, added EG pulse to keyboard layouts, fixed context menu text size, and I could keep going, but I won't. Shout out to Imaginato for keeping this app updated so often. It is incredible the speed that they work at. Multi-track recorder plugin has been updated, and this version allows loop recording in remote mode, added a save as option to the song menu, and this version allows you to record in remote mode, and more, so be sure to check out multi-track recorder plugin. And new Rack AEV3 processor has also been updated to version 1.36. They fixed a couple minor issues with the MIDI CC generator and pitch bend modules, and other minor changes and fixes. And Atom Piano Roll 2, which just was released, had an update that literally followed the next day, so it's incredible how fast that developer is working. But what's new in this update is support for the Launchpad Pro Mark III controller, a sausage fingers mode for people who want bigger UI elements, a Roboto font-based theme for people who want larger and more legible text, new pattern controls, add default and add empty, and add duplicate reset pattern as well as delete notes, help messages using non-destructive processing operations, better track cloning support in AUM, clone tracks now also show up in layers, better iCloud support, also preventing a crash when iCloud is disabled, and support for simultaneous touch and mouse input. Using both touch and mouse input together would have caused instability in 2.0, so update to 2.0.1 when it hits to avoid any issues. And those are our updates. Now let's move on to sales. First off, we've got 2X B303 bass sequencer EDM 303. It was $5.99, it's currently $4.99. Shimmer AEV3 audio plugin was $5.99, it's also currently $4.99. And Stereographic EQ AEV3 plugin again was $5.99 and it's also $4.99. And 7X Wave sample sequencer was $3.99 and it's currently $2.99. And with that said, we're about to get out of here. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to hit the like button, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, sales, beats, reviews, updates, and more. And thank you again for 2,000 subscribers, and be sure to check out some of the best kits available for iOS at iPadbeatmaking.com. It's iPadbeatmaking.com. Peace.